Together with the servicemen of the 57th Separate Motorized Infantry Brigade, we are moving to the front line near Bakhmut. They say now the enemy is trying to keep the defense in a completely destroyed city.
It does not conduct assault actions, short raids. He's trying it out, feeling out the strength of our defenses. Accordingly, we do practically the same. Both sides stand in a state of active defense. Both are preparing for more aggressive actions. We catch their groups, their movements, let them accumulate ammunition, create conditions when they just try to assemble an assault group, do something there, then disassemble it at the start.
A little more than 200 meters separates the Russian invaders from the position of the Ukrainian military.
At this time no one is visible, and in the morning there were 3 Russians. What they were doing? They ran across from place to place.
Our warriors say that Russian troops here often use both small arms and heavier weapons, anti-tank guided missiles, rocket launchers, mortars and artillery, and great launchers at long ranges. At least 10 enemy attacks occur here every day. Our units respond.
We caught a very good moment when there was a replacement between the Wagner mercenaries and the regular troops. As soon as the Wagner withdrew its units, the regulars came in, but they still didn't really know the terrain. They didn't pull up the logistics, and at that moment a brigade struck. And a chic result, indeed, which was achieved due to a good moment, especially considering that we were advancing without having an advantage in strength.
Now the Wagner PMC mercenaries have been replaced by the regular troops of the Russian army at the positions in Bakhmut. The armed forces of Ukraine continue to hold the flanks of Bakhmut. They say that they are not advancing yet. They devote most of their time to defense.
We go to the positions of Ukrainian military personnel. Here the enemy is very close, literally a few hundred meters. You can hear the shelling from the temporarily occupied territory, and because it is not safe here, you need to split into groups, walk at some distance from each other and move in some places in dashes.
At the positions, the servicemen arrange the most comfortable way of life in such conditions.
I'm making rice soup. You could say it's improvisation. The main thing is not to repeat yourself.
Yevhen is the battalion commander in the armed forces of Ukraine since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion. He says that he had a deferment, but decided not to use it. And on the second day of the attack, he went to the enlistment office.
On February 25th last year, I came to the military registration and enlistment office, and on the 26th in the morning I was already in uniform. I worked as a regional manager at Huawei, Ukraine. They built mobile communications in the Chernihiv region in Kyiv. They also built in the south. One of the latest projects is 4G in the metro of Kyiv residents.
In the trenches where the infantry is located, as a result of bad weather, it can be very difficult to move around, the soldiers say.
Rain, maybe bad weather. I took it and sat down. Yes, and from the drone you can hide a little. An enemy drone flies, looks, and there are 5 or 4 of us in position. There's no point in wasting ammo. There are many more of us here.
The infantry here has an unspoken rule that everyone strictly adheres to.
The deeper you dig, the better you will be.
Above the positions there was a constant whistle of shells.
It's quiet today, you might say. That's all that flies. Is it quiet for you? It's every day, yes.
The results of projectile explosions in positions clearly demonstrate the intensity of shelling here. According to the General Staff, despite regular attacks from the enemy, the task of Ukrainian servicemen in this sector of the front is to prevent Russian troops from carrying out rotations in the Bakhmut direction. Reported by Roman Smoler, Anastasiia Volkova, UATV News.